Hi everyone, we're back again. My name is Uchenna Ilo, and this is my friend Nkosi.
Hi there.
Yeah, good morning from Glasgow. We want to discuss about our beliefs. The context in which we want to discuss it is it's about believing in yourself, what beliefs we hold about ourselves, what impact does it make on our life, and can they be changed? How do we change them if they can be changed? Uh, those are the questions we'll be trying to answer today. So, how do we start now? We'll start by defining belief. And for me, I think beliefs are ideas or thoughts or principles, that we've learned over time, and they are embedded in our subconscious, and they determine a lot of things that we do in our life. So, our belief system is how we view the world. Everything that we do is based on what we believe. So, it's very important to understand what you believe, and how you even got to believe those things that you believe. Do you have any other kind of explanation for the meaning of belief?
Um, First and foremost, I'd like to say thank you, Uche, for just inviting me to take part in this groundbreaking work, because it's always a fascinating topic just to talk about the human brain and how we function and that sort of a thing. I really, really appreciate it, and I hope that people can identify with what we're talking about and connect with it and make a difference. Beliefs. I find that a very fascinating topic. I find that fascinating because belief, I believe it underpins everything that we do. But it's a very, very big word. So let's try and break it down and to see how we can, tackle it and give ourselves a better understanding of it. What is to believe? From my own perspective and my own meditations, to believe is to be convicted, to be persuaded that a particular thing exists. It doesn't have to be something that exists outside. You're persuaded within yourself that something is in existence or something is true of itself. That is to believe. Now, the thing that one may be saying and believing in, it may not be something that's tangible. It may be something that I believe this is going to happen. So you've already seen it in existence in your mind, in your mental space. Yeah, that's to believe. That's to believe. Yeah, and now we can go further and say, okay, that's to believe. Now, maybe to get that word, a more in-depth understanding of belief from what I've explained is belief in itself. The word believe comes from a conjunction of two words. Number one is be, that's the first part of it, be, and then the second one is live. Now, if we take those two words and we break them apart, what is to be? To be is to be in existence. To live is to be animated, is to come alive. So, be, live. So every time we say be, live, we are saying this thing come into existence. So that's my view of the word belief, and that's the power which I think that word holds. Then we go further into what is a belief. So we explained belief. Now, what is a belief? Now, I'll put that over to you.
Okay. A belief, to me, like I said before, they are ideas, that we have, that we hold to be true, not necessarily based on any evidence or anything. So that's just basically what it means. Now, I know, and we all know that what we believe is what we do, is what determines the actions that we take in life. Everything that we do is based on what we believe that we can do. You're never going to do anything that you can't imagine or that you don't believe is possible. So we are confined by what we believe in.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I was going to just talk this in briefly on where beliefs come from, because nobody's born with any belief.
That's an interesting
We are born as children, as babies, everybody, of course, apart from maybe some people were born as adults, I don't know. But
Like
as newborn babies, you don't have any beliefs. It's possible you came with some kind of talent that you're going to nurture later on. But your environment is what determines your belief. Your parents, what they teach you at birth, what we learn from society, what we learn from our religion, if we have any, what we learn from school, what we learn from our peers, what we learn from friends. And science has shown that we start to form beliefs around the age of 7. So if you think back to when you were 7 years old, I'm sure you can remember a lot of things that you were doing. So those beliefs that you were picking up from the age of 7 have been ingrained in your subconscious. And it's based on those beliefs and the environment that you grew up in is what determines the beliefs that you're going to have. But as adults now, we have to come to an understanding, and it's only when you are aware that you understand that it's possible to change those beliefs if you need to change them, because a lot of beliefs are going to be limiting, and they determine our existence. So let me just tell you a short story, about this in belief.
Okay.
Just a very short story.
Go for it.
The elephants in the circus. Well, I'm sure most of you have heard this before. Sometimes you wonder why they are tied, with a little rope, and they are tied to a stick, and they don't move, they don't try to run away. The story behind it is that when they are babies, they are tied like that to that stick. So they try to escape from the rope, and they try, but they can't do it because they are very small. So they keep trying to the point where they now believe that it's not possible. So even as big elephants, they still use the same rope.
The same mentality.
Yeah.
Right.
And they don't attempt to escape it, to break out of the, So that's just basically how belief works, Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very, very powerful example that you've given, because the elephant is actually bigger than the rope. It could actually even just break the rope into pieces, but because it doesn't actually believe, it doesn't actually see that thing to be possible, hence it doesn't happen.
Yeah, so those beliefs are reinforced, by experience. Let me just give an example of myself, When you have tried some things sometimes, and you fail at them, maybe 1, 2, 3 times, you believe it's not possible, I cannot do this, and you stop. Whenever you see it, whenever such a thing comes back to you, you try to avoid it because you believe you cannot do it. So there are lots of limiting, impacts that our distant beliefs have on us. I never believed I could be doing, a video I believed I was a shy person, so shy people don't do videos. You understand? So why would I be doing a video? So I've been trying to change those beliefs over time, and it's been working for me. So I don't know if you have any example or something. You give us.
The examples, there's a multitude of examples that we could give. But I think the examples that you've given, they create a whole lot more clarity. Maybe we could just shift to, because we focus on the beliefs, or what a belief is and how that impacts us. And maybe I think it's just leading itself to the next part, where it's how do we change the belief? Because that's a very important part. It's great to actually recognize that, okay, I have a limiting belief. Now, how do I change that limiting belief? How do I create a new belief? Because that's where we become more empowered. Now, what I've found to work, and what I've been doing some research to see what other leading people in the industry are doing to do that, I found that the best way is, let's go back to what a belief is. A belief is just, in simple, it's an opinion that we consider to be true, and then we actually go out there and we find evidence to support it. Or we've seen it happen to somebody, and we don't know that person, the reason why that thing happened to them is because they believed in a particular way, but we just take that it happened to them, so that's what should happen when this happens. So in saying that, it brings me back to how do we recreate new beliefs? Well, we decide what we want, and then we look for evidence to support it. Even though the evidence doesn't exist, we look for the evidence in our minds, in your mental space, and you create it and say, you know what? I believe that this is possible. So where are certain instances that this thing has happened in real life? Now, if you can't find them, then you manufacture synthetic ones, because there's one thing fascinating about the mind. The mind doesn't know the difference between something that's actually happened and something that's something that we imagine. Now, the reason why I said if there is no existent, if the thing that you're believing has never happened before, create a synthetic one. Look at, for example, the Wright brothers. I don't know if you ever heard of the Wright brothers.
No.
The Wright brothers, they're the guys that invented this huge piece of metal that we all crumple and get into, and we fly across the sea to either you'll be flying to Nigeria, I'll be flying to Zimbabwe, or wherever. Yeah. Now, before those guys invented the plane, they had to believe that it was possible. Now, how could they believe if that thing had never existed? So they had to create a new belief. Creating a new belief was they had to see it in their mind's eye as something existent. Then start looking to put themselves in an environment that supports that idea coming into being. Yeah. So, in simple, creating a new belief, you got to look at, say, who are the people that have achieved what I did? Oh, so there's somebody. So if they can do it, then that means it's possible for me. Then start surrounding yourself with material that would support that belief. Yeah. Or if that thing has never happened before, then you have to create a synthetic one, which this is where we get into the territory of visualizing and other different techniques of getting yourself reconditioning your thinking, because it's literally just recreating a new foundation for a new structure.
That takes me back to let me just break down I think what you just said too.
Yes.
In a very simpler way. I think we just need to take action on the new kind of belief that we want to imbibe. We have to take action on the belief. If you don't take any action, you're still going to be stuck in that old belief. Because it's only by taking action that you break out, of your comfort zone. Because what you believe is where you feel comfortable, and it's basically stories that we tell ourselves
Absolutely.
in our mind about life and about truths that we know. Now, the truth is that the way we view ourselves is not how other people view us. We have formed these things, and our world really, is in our mind. So those stories that we tell ourselves in our mind, is what determines what we do on the outside. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So when when you believe that you're shy, nobody else knows
Yeah.
that you're shy.
So essentially,
it's
what
only
you've done,
you that knows, and you're acting it out, and nobody around you even cares or knows. Yes, yeah.
So essentially, what's happening there is you are creating the image of you being shy, and then you are buying into that image of being shy. So when you buy into it, then it becomes a belief. When you buy into it, then it has to manifest itself out there in the physical world, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything that we do on the outside, like we just read the show, we did last week, and this week we're here again because we believe it's going to make an impact in our lives.
Absolutely. Not only in our lives, in the lives of the people that listen to
and
it.
the lives of the people that also listen to us, and that's why we are convicted, like you said in the beginning, to come and do it again, and basically over the past 3-4 years, I've had to personally change a lot of things I thought about myself, and I can see the impact very much, every day in my life. I feel like I'm growing, out of my comfort zone. Normally, I wouldn't be here doing this. I thought right from an early age, I believed I was shy, and I wasn't supposed to be, doing this. Even when I first joined Facebook, I never even used to post any pictures because I thought, posting pictures was for some kind of people, some kind of people that have some kind of character. So the funny thing about this belief system is that we have a lot of beliefs that we don't even know that we have. And that's what makes us to judge people in different ways. We see somebody as ugly, see somebody as beautiful, see somebody as rich because the world has told us, that is what it is. It may not, there's no justification for it. You like someone that behaves in a particular way. It appeals to you because you believe that, what that person is doing is good. So it goes a long way, in determining how far we're going to go in this life. And I believe most of the great achievers are people that believed in the impossible. Absolutely. Like you mentioned about the plane and all that, Mark Zuckerberg that made this in Facebook, so many people, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, they just imagine things, Einstein, they just believe that, that it's possible to do something, and they went to try it, and they've been successful. And a lot of other heroes too, not just these big names, there are a lot of people doing things in their own societies and everything, with strong belief, in what they're doing. And like we said, I believe that what we're doing now is going to have an impact maybe on just one person's life.
Yeah.
And, that is okay for me.
Exactly. I was going to say the same thing, that even if it's one life that one has made a difference in, that is a huge accomplishment. It's a huge accomplishment in the sense that that person, you never know, may go on to actually impact thousands of people. So that's the power of it, and yeah.
So let me just round up. Let me just summarize and round up for the day. First of all, you have to understand that we all have beliefs in one way or the other. Even though some school of thought say that they don't believe in anything, but I believe that's a belief in not believing in anything.
Yeah. To not believe in anything is to believe.
It's to believe that you don't believe in anything. So there's no. I feel everybody has a belief, whether you believe in nothing or you believe in something. Then, first of all, we need to identify what our beliefs are. It's simple. It's not that simple, but you can be right. You can write it, but you can just write them down. What do you believe to be true?
The best. Sorry to interrupt you.
Okay.
While you're just talking about that, the best way to actually identify what it is that you believe in is re-evaluating every time you do some form of action that is not moving you towards where exactly you want to go. Re-evaluate. Why is it that I do things this way? Where did I learn this? Who either in my childhood or who in my surrounding actually does things that way? Where did I pick that? It's I think Bob Proctor mentions it very, very well. Says evaluate why you do things, and the more you evaluate why you do things, the more your understanding begins to grow in that area, and in terms of your beliefs and understanding your beliefs and your belief system.
Yeah.
So, please.
Yeah. So once you can identify those beliefs that we have, of course you can't. You may not be able to list all of them out immediately. It's impossible because there are still some that we don't even know that they exist because we are so used to doing them. So we don't even know that they are there, but they are still there. It's a process of growth. As you grow, you keep uncovering all those beliefs. Then you look at the ones that are limiting you. When I say limiting, I mean that are stopping you from getting to where you want to get.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I not achieving what I want to achieve? Then you need to take action. Mm-hmm. Is that action that will change the story in your mind? If you always wanted to write a book and you don't believe you can write, or you don't believe you can do almost anything, most things that you want to do that are possible within the realm of our existence.
Yeah.
I won't say I believe I can fly, then I'll try to fly. Gravity will always pull you down.
No, maybe you could pull a helicopter.
Well, what is within our realm of existence, that can be done, you can do it. It takes practice, it takes action.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I think those are just a few things we want to discuss. I don't know if you have any other things to add.
I think for the purpose of time, and we'll expand on the topic maybe in future when we sit down. But for now, yes, I think I'd like to leave you with that. Just keep re-evaluating. If you find that there's things that you do that really don't really work for you, re-evaluate why do you do them? Why do you do them? And from there, then you're able to move. The first thing is recognize that there's something that's not working and why it's not working. It's not that it's good or bad that it's not working. It's not labeled. I
think we need to even evaluate why we're not staying within the 15, because we agreed to stay 15 minutes today. And we've done 25 minutes again. Okay. Amazing. So we need to reevaluate why we can't stay within 15 minutes for these topics.
Yeah.
It's really amazing. All right. We'll see you guys again on Saturday next week.
Yeah. Guys, it was been nice chatting to you guys and just sharing with you guys. Just go on the page. It's Uchenna Ilo. Or you can go on to Nkosi Frank Nyati, or you can tap into my page, which is Creative Nature of a Mind. And there's loads of other material between our two pages that can actually help you clarify various different things about how to get the best out of yourself, because that's what it essentially we're about, just getting the best out of yourself.
Yep.
And getting the right support as you are going along that way. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can click on it. You can just comment or make any notes, that you feel that you might want us to discuss next time.
Yeah.
All right. So bye. See you later.